So today we're going to be changing out the fuel filter in our 6.7 liter Powerstroke. Just got through changing the oil and just going to go ahead and change the fuel filter too. So the Motorcraft part FD4615 comes with the kit. It has the one that's under your engine bay, and it comes with a new O-ring and the new filter that's near your frame rail. So we're going to show you guys how to change all that out and reprime the system. So we just got this truck a few weeks ago and I just want to play it safe. I don't know, this might even be the original filter, but hopefully not. But to change this, to give you the orientation, is the passenger side and of course is the driver's side. So the clamps are really easy to take off. The green, there's two little parts that go up on the top, and you can kind of see them, and when they're on there, you just pinch them together and then push them down and that pulls off. And then you grab, there's gray on that side and hard to see, but gray over on the other side. You pinch those at the same time and pull it off. So then we're going to rotate our actual fuel housing and we're going to take it out, and to do that you have to loosen, there's an 8mm bolt. You can kind of see that's right down there. And I just put a rag down because a little bit of diesel fuel will come out. I'm going to see if I can get this to rotate. And then you kind of have to find the sweet spot, and I'll show you why in a minute. These want to always go back on. There is a key tab that's on the bottom of this filter, and hopefully I can get this with one hand, and if not, it'll be easier with two. I'll show you on the bottom of it just kind of what I'm talking about. So it's that little piece of plastic that's there. You have to get it just in the right spot for it to come up and out. And then we're going to lock the new one back down and put the lines back on. Needed to a long extension with a wobble adapter works out just great to get that in, to tighten it if you want to do it from the other side. So I loosened it from in there and it was just a lot easier to tighten from over here. I'm going to look and tell you guys what size socket that is, if I can make it out. So looks like it's going to be a 7mm. So that worked out pretty well. So here's our primary fuel filter. You can see it's got what looks to be a plastic socket. It's 32mm. Have our sensor here, and then we have our drain, and our sensors just kind of detects if there's any water in the fuel line. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to disconnect our sensor here. Just find out where the push tab is, pull that off. I'm going to put it way up in the frame in a minute. Then we're going to drain. Let this thing drain for a second. But actually, before we drain, I'm going to turn this. I've read that if you turn it 3 times and get it rotated a little bit, it'll make it drain a little bit better to where you don't get diesel fuel all over you. But to let you know where this thing is, there's your transfer case. We're pretty far back on the vehicle. I'd say probably near halfway or so. But we're going to turn this loose a little bit, let it drain until it's about out, and we're going to keep our sensor as clean as possible. So now that we've gotten the housing off, you can see our nice green O-ring, and the kit that comes with the new one is supplied with a new one. So we're going to get that off with a little bitty screwdriver and just take it off, and then we'll put the new one on and get it all the way up to the top. But I'm going to get out from under here and show you guys the filter. Looks like it hadn't been changed in a while, so I'm glad we are doing this. This beautiful new filter. And then here's our old filter. And it didn't really want to drain out. I had to keep going in and out after I pulled that. So this filter is probably pretty old. So I'm glad that we are doing this, even though we just got the truck. So about to pop this one out, and you can kind of see here, this is the part that's going to pop down in the bottom of this. Once I get that one out, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about, and we're going to go ahead and clean out the housing as well. There was so much sediment and junk inside of here, but you can see in the very bottom where it just kind of snaps, you can see the sensor. It's over here, and then that's where your drain is. But just wanted to show you guys there is a plastic stop that's here. It's this piece right here. So when you're turning it in and you feel resistance like it stopped, that's the piece that lets you know, and it'll line up the sensors back where they're supposed to go. Now for the most important part, we need to reprime the fuel system. So basically we're going to end up turning it key on but not cranking, waiting 30 seconds. I'm going to turned the power off of my heat and everything. Well, conserve battery life. Actually, I'm going to turn off my programmer as well. I have it hooked up on one of the switches here. But it's repriming our fuel pump. So after about that 30, I knew I'd get a phone call in the middle of this. But doing it again for another 30 seconds, turning it off, turning it back on, letting it prime. We're going to do this 6 times. And I can hear the pump doesn't sound as dry. It actually sounds like it's moving a little bit now. But we're having to fill that primary and secondary pump back up with fuel. So we're going to keep doing this 6 times, and when I get to the 6th one, I'll let you see if it starts up. So this is the 6th time, and we're listening for the little moan of the pump. And when it turns off, I'm going to try to crank, and it just turned off. Alright, so reprimed, fuel filter's changed, life is good. Since we know we're good, we'll go into settings, and then we'll go under vehicle, and maintenance is right here, and then fuel filter, and we'll hold OK, and that'll reset that for us. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching.